An oncologist once shared a haunting truth. Nearly 90% of my patients had absolutely no idea that something deadly had already begun growing inside them. They lived their lives as usual, eating, working, sleeping, without any clue that within them, a quiet threat was taking root. By the time symptoms appeared and a diagnosis was made, the disease had already progressed too far. For many, it was too late. What makes illness so terrifying isn't always the pain or the treatment. It's the silence, how it begins without warning, hidden in the comfort of our daily routines. It's in the food we choose, the breaths we ignore, the sleep we skip, and the movement we avoid. Nobel Prize-winning scientist Otto Warburg made a discovery that shocked the medical world. He found that the root cause of many chronic diseases, including cancer, wasn't necessarily bacteria, viruses, or even aging. It was far simpler and more profound. Our cells begin to die when they are starved of oxygen. Oxygen isn't just what we breathe, it's the essential fuel for every living cell. According to Warburg, every bite of food we eat and every habit we adopt either supports the delivery of oxygen to our cells or slowly suffocates them. And when cells suffocate, they break down, first quietly, then catastrophically. From this understanding, Warburg crafted 8 foundational rules. Not complicated therapies, but simple, everyday habits that can dramatically increase oxygen delivery, lower acidity, and give your body the power to protect and even heal itself. If you're still here watching this video, it's because something inside you knows the truth. Prevention isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. If you find these insights valuable, type the word oxygen in the comments. And tell us, what do you fear more? The disease itself or the helplessness that comes with not knowing? And if you haven't yet liked and subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so. Your support helps us bring you more empowering, life-enhancing content. Now let's begin. Rule number 1. Start your day the right way. Most people begin their mornings in a rush, grabbing coffee, eating dry toast, or worse, skipping breakfast altogether. But according to Warburg, this is one of the biggest mistakes we can make. When you wake up, your cells are dehydrated and in desperate need of water. Not caffeine, not sugar. Just clean, warm water. Warburg strongly recommended starting each morning with a glass of warm water on an empty stomach, ideally with a few drops of fresh lemon juice. Not for taste, but for purpose. Lemon adds gentle alkalinity, helping to cleanse the digestive system, stimulate liver function, and make the blood less acidic, which in turn supports better oxygen transport throughout the body. Why is this so important? Because about 60% of the human body is water. And when we're dehydrated, even slightly, our blood becomes thicker, our metabolism slows, and cells receive less oxygen. That's the first step toward fatigue, inflammation, and over time, illness. One woman in her late 60s shared how she replaced her morning coffee with warm lemon water. Within 3 weeks, her swelling disappeared. Her digestion improved. Her mind felt clearer. "I wasn't aging," she said. "I was just dehydrated." But hydration is only the first step toward revitalizing your cells. Rule number 2, a salad a day is not optional, it's essential. For many, vegetables are an afterthought, something to nibble on occasionally or mix into a main dish. But Otto Warburg made it clear. Fresh vegetables, especially leafy greens, are non-negotiable when it comes to cellular health. Why? Because they're loaded with alkalizing minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium, along with vital enzymes and antioxidants that support oxygen exchange at the cellular level. When your diet lacks these nutrients, your internal environment becomes too acidic. And an acidic body is the perfect breeding ground for inflammation, fatigue, poor digestion, and eventually disease. You might notice brittle nails, thinning hair, or dry skin. Not necessarily because you're aging, but because your cells are suffocating. A simple daily salad, dressed with lemon juice and a splash of olive oil, does more than just satisfy hunger. It helps neutralize acidic waste, improve circulation, revitalize your immune system, and make your internal terrain hostile to disease. As Warburg believed, food should be your medicine. But for that to happen, you need to give your cells what they crave. And that starts with greens. Rule number 3, snacking, a silent saboteur. Most of us don't think twice before grabbing a handful of chips, a cookie, or a quick bite between meals. It's small, right? Harmless? But Warburg viewed these snack choices as one of the most dangerous everyday habits. not because of the size of the snack, but because of its composition. Sugary and salty processed snacks cause a spike in blood sugar and a surge of acidity in the bloodstream. When that happens, oxygen can't reach your cells effectively, and over time, your immune system becomes weaker, slower, and more vulnerable. So what did Warburg recommend instead? Smart, oxygen-supporting alternatives like raw almonds, rich in magnesium and healthy fats. They help stabilize blood sugar and keep your pH balanced. Spirulina, a superfood from the sea, packed with protein, iron, and chlorophyll, a compound that promotes cellular detoxification and oxygenation. One woman shared that she swapped her afternoon cookies for a small handful of almonds and a glass of lemon water. Within a month, her digestive issues vanished, her cholesterol dropped, and her mood stabilized. I felt lighter, she said. Not just in my body, but in my mind. Rule number 4, movement, oxygen in motion. Modern life has made us still. We sit at desks, on couches, in cars, and we pay for it with our health. Warburg famously said, "If you don't move, your body becomes acidic." He didn't mean this metaphorically. Physically sitting still slows blood flow, clogs the lymphatic system, and allows acids and toxins to accumulate, reducing the amount of oxygen your cells can access. When this happens, fatigue, brain fog, joint stiffness, and immune imbalances follow. But the solution is refreshingly simple. Just move. You don't need a gym. You don't need hours. Start with a 15-minute walk in the morning or evening, climbing stairs instead of using elevators, gentle stretching before bed, even light bouncing or dancing to stimulate your lymph system and energize your cells. One older man in his 70s said he started with just 15 minutes of walking each day. After 2 weeks, his knee pain began to fade, his sleep improved, and he felt more refreshed in the morning. "I thought I needed medication," he said. "Turns out, I just needed movement." But perhaps the most underestimated source of oxygen and vitality isn't food or exercise. It's something we do every second of every day. Rule number 5, breathe like your life depends on it. Because it does. We breathe every moment of our lives, yet most of us never stop to think about how we're breathing. According to Nobel Prize-winning scientist Otto Warburg, improper breathing is one of the most underestimated contributors to disease. His research revealed something astonishing. When cells are deprived of oxygen, even slightly, they begin to suffocate, weaken, and eventually die. This cellular starvation doesn't always come with immediate symptoms, but over time, it quietly paves the way for chronic fatigue, poor immunity, and even life-threatening illnesses. In modern-day environments, where city air is filled with toxins, dust, and stress, the majority of people breathe shallowly. Instead of drawing deep, nourishing breaths that fill the lungs and oxygenate the body, we breathe quickly and from the chest, using only a small percentage of our lung capacity. As a result, vital organs like the brain, heart, and kidneys are slowly starved of oxygen. Imagine trying to power your car with just a few drops of fuel. You'll still run, but not for long and not very well. Warburg's recommendation? Make deep breathing a conscious daily habit. He encouraged people to spend time outdoors in nature whenever possible. Or at the very least, open a window first thing in the morning to let in fresh air. Then, practice deep breathing. Inhale slowly through the nose, pause for a couple of seconds, and then exhale gently through the mouth. This mindful breathing allows oxygen to penetrate deep into your lungs, recharging your cells with life. One man from St. Petersburg, plagued by high blood pressure and daily headaches, began doing just 10 minutes of deep breathing on his balcony every morning. Within a week, his headaches vanished and his blood pressure normalized. "It was like someone flipped a switch in my brain," he said. "I hadn't realized how foggy I'd become until the fog was gone." But even perfect breathing can't protect your health if your plate is filled with the wrong kinds of meat. Rule number 6, meat, nourishment or nuisance. Meat itself isn't the enemy. It's how it's chosen, prepared, and consumed that can tip the scale toward healing or harm. Warburg didn't advocate for complete vegetarianism. Instead, he warned against heavily processed, fatty, fried, or smoked meats, which are acidic and inflammation-promoting. These types of meat can strain the liver, cloud the bloodstream, and deprive cells of oxygen. Over time, this acidic environment makes the body more vulnerable to disease. His advice was clear. Choose lean meats like chicken or fish, and prepare them by boiling or steaming. not frying or grilling over open flames. He also recommended moderation. Around 150 grams per day is enough. Additionally, giving your body a break with 1 or 2 meat-free days per week can allow the digestive system to reset and reduce your body's acidity. A woman once shared how she replaced fried and red meats with smaller portions of boiled poultry and added a weekly vegetarian day. Within weeks, her chronic bloating disappeared, her cholesterol levels improved, and her energy levels rebounded. It wasn't magic, it was chemistry. But even a clean diet can be compromised by one common mistake: assuming all vegetables are healthy. Rule number 7. Not all vegetables are created equal. We often assume vegetables are always beneficial, but Warburg warned that some vegetables, particularly those high in starch, can actually work against your body's oxygen balance. For example, white potatoes, though common and comforting, quickly convert into sugar once digested, increasing the body's acidity and promoting inflammation. This acidic environment suffocates your cells, depriving them of the oxygen they need to function properly. Warburg suggested replacing starchy vegetables with alkaline, oxygen-rich options like zucchini, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, and bell peppers. These vegetables don't just nourish the body. They actively support cellular respiration and help clear out waste products. A man from Voronezh shared his transformation. He swapped out potatoes for steamed zucchini and peppers. In just 4 weeks, he noticed less fatigue, better digestion, and clearer skin. He said, "It was like my body stopped fighting me and started working with me." Still, even with a perfect plate, one thing remains the ultimate foundation for cellular life. Rule number 8. Water, the silent healer. Warburg emphasized that water isn't just a thirst quencher. It's the medium through which your cells thrive. Without adequate water, the body becomes dehydrated at the cellular level. It starts pulling water from your organs, which leads to fatigue, inflammation, poor digestion, and impaired immunity. Water is also essential for flushing out toxins, transporting nutrients, and regulating the acid-alkaline balance critical for cell health. His recommendation was straightforward. Drink at least 2 liters of warm, preferably alkaline water each day. Begin with a glass first thing in the morning, before breakfast, and continue sipping small amounts throughout the day. Avoid sugary sodas and fruit juices. They only increase acidity and add to the toxic load. One man reported that after he cut out soda and sugary tea, replacing them with warm water, he felt lighter within a week. His acid reflux vanished, and after a month, he started waking up feeling genuinely rested. Warburg once cautioned, "1 glass of soda requires 30 glasses of water to neutralize its acidity." Instead of battling the aftermath, it's far better to prevent it in the first place. What made Otto Warburg's legacy so powerful wasn't just his scientific findings. It was the simplicity of his conclusion. He discovered that the root cause of many chronic illnesses wasn't age, genetics, or bad luck. It was oxygen deficiency at the cellular level. When cells are well oxygenated, they thrive. When they are deprived of oxygen, disease finds a way in. What you've learned today isn't just a collection of tips. It's a complete roadmap to reviving your body from the inside out. A glass of warm lemon water, a fresh salad, almonds instead of cookies, a brisk walk instead of another hour on the couch, deep breaths instead of shallow sighs, steamed vegetables instead of fried sides, lean meat in moderation, and above all, lots of clean water. These are small daily habits that can transform the way your body functions, no matter your age. Health isn't just luck. It's a series of conscious choices, and you can start making those choices today. If this message resonated with you, type balance in the comments and let us know which Warburg rule you'll try first. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to our channel. Your support empowers us to keep creating life-changing, uplifting content. We'll see you in the next video.